What's up, gamers? How you doing? It's John. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's good to see you. This video, I'm going to show you some really cool stuff, so bear with me, please. It's going to be a longer video than I typically do because I have a lot of stuff to share with you. But I guarantee you, if you stick around, you're going to see some really cool stuff. To my left, to your right, I have this mini PC I picked up on Amazon last year. You can kind of see the skull image here. You can change it. Comes with different templates. Anyway, this thing is a super powerful for what it is. It can do a lot of really cool emulation. Here are two external hard drives I have. This one is 11 terabytes. This one is 13 terabytes, filled to the brim of games, emulators, ROMs, etc. And I'm going to highlight some really cool ones. And basically what this can do is this PC here can emulate anything from basic stuff from like Atari 2600 upwards to Xbox 360, PS3 era, even beyond like Switch, things like that. So very, very powerful mini PC. The purpose of this video is to share with you what emulation can do. I'm a huge advocate, first and foremost, of physical games. I always have been. I have thousands of physical games in my collection, and that's never going to change. But emulation brings the convenience factor. It brings the factor that you can play games typically that you would not be able to play normally, and play games that are a little harder to find, so to speak, right? So let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching this video. Huge shout out to my friend Kirk, aka Cubert Addict 1. He's here on YouTube. He helped me build this thing. He's an amazing job. It took some time, but it was definitely worth the wait because there's a lot of stuff on here. So let's check it out, take a closer look, and let me know what you guys think. Thanks. The first emulator I'm going to show you is Techno Parrot. And what Techno Parrot is, there's probably 80 or so games I have on here. They're more modern arcade games. First one I'm going to show you is Star Wars Battle Pod. Came out, I believe, in like 2013. So this game's actually 10 years old, but it's one of my favorite Star Wars arcade games out there. And if you've gone to an arcade in the past 10 years, you've probably seen it around, sitting there. They have the pod, which is a sit-down one, which is like a 360 almost, encompassing. It's pretty cool. More like 180, but it doesn't go all the way around. But very cool. And they also have a stand-up one as well, which is TV. So really cool that I'm able to play this in the convenience of and comfort of my own home. Because this one you can't just purchase on the Xbox or PlayStation. There's no home port. I'm going to mute the music on this because it does have Star Wars music on it. I don't want to flag any things like that in this YouTube system here, but we're going to play this without any music. But just rest assured, the music works great, and I just want to show you some gameplay. But there's different levels: Hoth, Endor, Death Star, Vader's Revenge, Yavin. We'll check out Yavin because it's the most iconic kind of story in Star Wars, right? It's the whole going there, trying to defeat the Death Star, going in the trenches. Controls are awesome. Gameplay is so much fun. And when you're sitting in the battle pod, the sit-down one, it's projected and it looks so cool because it kind of, your peripherals of your eyes, you can kind of see it around you. Almost encompasses you for sure. So it's a different experience playing it through emulation. Nonetheless, it plays great and looks awesome. There have been a lot of great Star Wars arcades throughout the decades, right? The first one, my favorite ones being the Atari Star Wars arcade, came out in 1983. But there's been a bunch. I know Sega released one during, I think, late 1990s, 97 timeframe. But here you are. No issues. Oh, come on, get him. Low power. If I hold down the button, the fire too long, it wears out. So I got to continue to go to boot. Get the guns back. Go in the trench. All right, the next game I'm going to show you on Techno Parrot. It's a classic, another one that you can't play the home port. That Nintendo's not ported. It's the Mario Kart VX for the arcades. This is by Namco. I believe it was developed by Namco, kind of partnership with Nintendo. We're going to go pick Mario here. Got National Match or Grand Prix. I can go National Match and I can team up with other users in Japan. Go and do that real quick. I'll choose my avatar. Graphics are really fun. The gameplay for the arcade port, if you ever played the Mario Kart arcade, it's really fun. There's a lot of different weapons and stuff. You can play as Pac-Man and other characters you can't play in other home ports of Mario Kart. So it's very unique in that sense. So searching for rivals.
against 3 other people. Let's do this. Now the arcade can actually take pictures of your face as well. There's a built-in camera. Not the case here, although I don't know if you were to add an external USB camera, if you can still do that here. Maybe, possibly, I don't know, I haven't tried it. And there were actually 2 Mario Kart games. There's DX, this one, and there's a Mario Kart DX2 as well. Unique levels, here we are. Oh, gotta find the button, there you go. Find the gas button, there you go, got it. Got kind of a slow start here. I am excited, but on the side note, I'm super excited for Mario World and Universal Studios. I cannot wait to check that out. I know that's just recently opened up in California. It's been open in Japan for some time. So you can see the coins are also different. They're like Mario coins opposed to golden coins, and you might be used to playing in other Mario Kart games. You also have like a hammer, and there's other weapons and stuff. But we're going to check out, this is a front end called Big Box, which is affiliated with Launchbox. This is a cool front end. I'm going to start with, kind of show you a list of what's here. Atari 2600, arcade, of course, which is main. And I love the intros here, and just the time and effort people put into this is awesome. The front end is great. Tiger.com, Game.com, sweet. Naomi, awesome. Sega, it's an emulator for Sega arcades. Raw FX, Philips CDI. You see this quite a bit. MSU MD Plus is the Mega Drive. It's got updated music to it, for example. Capcom. Check out Jag CD. I like Jaguar. Jaguar CD is a lot more uncommon. Obviously, Primal Rage is a game for it. For example, I'll show you that actually costs quite a bit of money. I do have a physical copy of Primal Rage for the Jag CD. Actually, I have a Jag CD, 2 copies of one that's open and one system that's not open as well. Both my systems work. Assuming the one that's unopened does work, but the one that's open works. I know they tend to go bad, but mine still works. Love the Jag CD. It was a flop for Atari for sure, but this is a fun port of Primal Rage, which came out in the arcades and ported to a number of other consoles at the time. But Jag CD is kind of a unique port for it. Just want to show you. And you can see there's the filter lines and all that's been added as well. So it kind of looks like it's playing on the CRT monitor. It is really good. Next arcade I want to show you is a classic. It's Donkey Kong Jr. I want to show you again the filters have been added as well as the bezels, the side artwork. Looks really good. Looks like you're playing on a classic CRT from the arcade. And Donkey Kong Jr. is a classic for sure. And one to definitely check out. We'll go and exit this. I'll show you the other games on here. Keep moving on here, kind of see what else we have. Windows has some great games for the Windows, right? So Street Fighter 4, or Street Fighter 5, as well as Streets of Rage, Guilty Gear, for example. A lot of great fighters. Tiger Gamecom. This is a handheld that came out in I don't recall the year, but it was by Tiger, which made those handhelds, right? The LCD ones. What was unique for the Gamecom was the first handheld that had a touchscreen, and they had some really great licenses, but unfortunately the games weren't that great. It's black and white, like kind of original Game Boy. This is PlayStation 2. I'm going to show you. We're going to skip ahead to Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront. In my opinion, Star Wars Battlefront is one of my favorite Star Wars games out there, and I want to show you how it plays on the PlayStation 2. Looks amazing. There's so much you can do in this game as far as playing as the good guys, the bad guys, right? And different characters. I know they've done more recent Battlefronts. In my opinion, the first 2 are the best Battlefronts in the series, in my opinion. Classic. Blazing Fire. Alright, moving on. PlayStation Complete Library, PlayStation 1 games. Road Rash is awesome. Port, Resident Evil, of course. Neo Geo, Sega Saturn. Sega Naomi 2 are games that are, Beat Strikers, for example, Virtual Fighter, are some of them. the later stages of the Sega arcade games. Model 3 is also some classic Sega arcade games. Sega made some great arcade games, right? So Jurassic World, Lost World, Jurassic Park, Harley Davidson, which is a racer, Daytona USA 2, Virtual Striker, Star Wars Trilogy, which I mentioned before. It's on here. Sega Rally, Bass Pro. Some of these games were ported to the Dreamcast as well. Some great ports. Speaking of Dreamcast, there's right there. Pinball FX. A handful of great digital pinball tables. You can see, and it kind of shows you the way it's set up. When you kind of pause, it shows you the field itself. Let's check out one here. Let's do X-Men. Here it goes. Use my right thumbstick. Oh, by the way, I'm using my Xbox controller to play. This is a Bluetooth Xbox controller I'm using for the PC. This I'm using to control all these games and go through here. Philips CDI has some games like the Zelda games. I was very playing these, but some of the worst voice acting. There's 3 Zelda games. There's also a Hotel Mario game as well. Long story short, Nintendo and Philips had a partnership. They were supposed to release a CD system, but it fell through. But through that partnership, Philips retained some licenses from Nintendo, including 1 Mario game and 3 Zelda games. They're bad, but I have them here to play. Here's Wii U. Here's Nintendo Wii. I only have a handful of games on here for the Wii. Virtual Boy, Switch, GameCube, complete library. I like Lord of the Rings. In fact, I just watched it the other day, the movies with my kids, and they seem to really enjoy it too. Classic movies. If you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, awesome. This is Xbox 360. We'll check out Halo 3. It has a window. If you notice, it is kind of windowed, which is interesting, unlike the other emulators. But I'm looking large. Doesn't affect the gameplay or how it plays, just through the window to it. Really enjoyed the 360 system overall, and Halo, of course, is an iconic series.
First squad, you're my scouts. Move out.
I love Halo. Definitely could play that game all day long, for sure. It's a classic. All of them are great. Good name, some crazy money, the Crazy Taxi. Here's this Dreamcast for the complete library. I'll show you Daytona USA, which is a great racer. If you've not played Daytona USA, complete. It's awesome. A great port for the Dreamcast as well. The intro of the Dreamcast just throws back so many memories. I bought it when it first came out, in the late 1990s. It's hard to believe the system's almost 25 years old at this point, and yeah, it's really held up quite well. I'm still holding out for a Dreamcast 2 eventually system. I'd love to see that. I forgot that Hasbro was involved with this project as well at some point. I'm saying of this port anyway. This is also ported to the Saturn, but Dreamcast version is almost arcade perfect. Pick memory card slot. The VMU. Kind of a cool concept for the Dreamcast. There it is. Runs very smooth. No glitches, anything like that when it comes to the emulation of this game, or Dreamcast in general. Oh, no, I hit the gas. I found the gas button. There it is. Let's hold down the right button. Okay, Pioneer Palcom was a computer in Japan, and it was a Laserdisc computer. It would play these games on Laserdisc, very similar to Dragon's Lair, so to speak. Only came out in Japan. Here's a Konami game called Badlands. I'm using my keyboard right now to select 1 or 2 players. And essentially you have to hit buttons at a certain time of the game, just to you in Dragon's Lair. I'm really bad at these games, but this game looks really cool. A lot of these games are classic anime cartoons, essentially, that are interactive at different levels and stages. But you can see the filter makes it look like also playing on a classic PC monitor. And I think it's just very cool. Looks awesome. And this is another example of a game that typically most people in North America would not be able to play, right, without the emulation. Check out Game Boy real quick. I'm going to show you examples of some of the filters that are on Game Boy. You can change. There's so many different ones within the big box here. Check out Adventure Island. And right now, let's see what it's set to first. It's got the Game Boy Light, which is a portable Game Boy. Came out in Japan, only in Japan, but it was like a backlit one. But you can see here, you can also go to like the pea green, right? I think that almost like played on the original Game Boy, but there's so many different filters here and color palettes you can choose. Make it look like it's on Game Boy Color, for example, or Super Game Boy rather, when you're playing through the Super Nintendo. This is another front end. This is called CoinOps. This is different than Big Box I was showing before. Different layout. Shout out to CoinOps as well. I'll put a link to their information or website in the information here in the video. But you can see I have a bunch of different ones. You can kind of filter it by handheld, computer, console. There's different ways you can do it. And you move left, right to select your emulator. I've got emulators on here that are not on Big Box. I'll show you a few of those. 3DOs, great. Got Nintendo 3DS. Show you how that plays. And let's go to check out Star Fox. Jump right to it and kind of see it. Very cool. The borders and filter here. I think, was this the last Star Fox game that Nintendo's made? I don't think they've made one since this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know there was one, I believe, for the Wii U, I think came out, but nothing for the Switch. So I think Nintendo's due for a new Star Fox. I might be wrong. Correct me if I am wrong. I don't recall one coming out for the Switch. You use your right thumb stick, analog stick, to control the tap, right? So you can kind of use that. Hit down to start.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. I like the filter. It makes it look like that camera. I think it's really cool.
Practice the basics.
Use the circle pad to steer.
I also have, here's Arcade, Amiga, Amstrad, which is big. Oh, Apple II. This is my childhood right here, right? So we have Word Munchers, played it all the time in elementary school. Oregon Trail, of course, played all the time in elementary school. So the fact there's Apple II emulator, I think that's super cool. So some of these games, I own an Apple II computer. I have some of these games physically, but it's cool. The floppy disk, I mean, it's awesome. It's definitely my childhood. Thomas Wave is another great emulator for arcades. Commodore 64, MS-DOS, some classic DOS games. I've got joystick and I've got ones with mouse. Interesting, Rampage is on there. Dreamcast again. FM Towns Marty was a PC that came out only in Japan. And I want to show you a port. This is Splatterhouse. This came out for the Genesis, of course, PC Engine. But this is a really cool port. I think great port of Splatterhouse that you'll see. And again, I love the filter they've added here as well. Another example of a game you most likely would not be able to play. FM Towns. I think the FM Towns Marty was the console version of the FM Towns computer. But let's check out Namco. This version uses the green blood still, right? I think just like the Mega Drive or Genesis version. I think the TurboGrafx version, graphics CD potentially, I think uses the red blood opposed to the green blood. Splatterhouse is awesome. If you haven't played Splatterhouse, I encourage you to check out Splatterhouse. It's a great game, especially during all day like the Halloween time. I tend to play this game a lot. So, FM Towns, yeah. All right, and so Game & Watch. Also some great games, the Game & Watch Classic, and I just love the way they've been able to emulate some of these. Check out Mario Cement Factory. I actually have this. Had it as a kid, I still have my copy today. But I use both sticks, right? The purposes, you got to watch out for the cement, move left and right, and you can't fall. You got to get the elevators, make sure the cement doesn't overflow. So a lot of these Game & Watches back in the day, it's kind of a multitask, and that's kind of the point of this game as well. I think it just looks really cool because the way they have it filtered and stuff like that looks awesome. Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. They have Game Boy Color and Game Boy here. They have 2-player ones, so it's like linked. So if you want to, like, for example, Tetris, there's games you get 2-player, like baseball and Tetris. You can actually play 2-player and it has 2 screens. That's really clever. I think that's awesome. Play 2-player Tetris. locally. And very cool filter there as well, by the way. GameCube. There's Jaguar again. Atari Lynx, great handheld. Here's Nintendo DS. Which I'll show you again here. It's classic. You guys will like a lot of Pokemon games. Looking for Mario Kart. There he goes. Mario Kart DS. It's got the filter. You can see you got the larger screen, and on the right I got the smaller screen as well. I use my right analog stick as well for to control the bottom screen there. So moving that around. What's your guys' favorite Mario Kart game? I'd have to probably say Mario 64. Mario Kart 64 is one of my favorite ones. I like Double Dash a lot as well because it's probably the most unique of the Mario Kart games. You can play 2 characters, and for the GameCube, I think it's a lot of fun. DS is not bad. Not a bad port. My least favorite Mario Kart is probably the one for the Game Boy Advance. What is that? Mario Kart Super Circuit, I think it is. See, it plays great though. No delay at all. Okay, this is a PS3. I'll show you games here. I want to show you. It's classic. If you're a big Turtles fan, here it is. This is where they did Turtles in Time Reshelled, where Ubisoft basically remade Turtles in Time, the arcade game, and gave it kind of a facelift for it, so to speak. And this game is a really fun port. Couple seconds to load here. Show you real time how how fast the computer is to load. Here it is. Speaking of Turtles, I saw a preview for the new movie coming out. It looks really interesting. It looked like Miles Morales cartoon, the new movie cartoon, right? Kind of that's how. But it looks really good. The animation looked good. Next emulator I will show you is Scrum VM. This is a lot of point and clicks, right? Even Seventh Guest is on here, but you have a lot of the classic games from Sierra as well as from LucasArts. One of the games I'm going to show you here, which is classic, is Day of the Tentacle. Maniac Mansion 2, basically essentially is what it is. This game also had a remastered version as well. It came out for modern platforms several years ago. But if you're looking for a fun point-and-click game, Day of the Tentacle, definitely check out. Let's check out this. The animation is great. This is by LucasArts. And this game came out in the 90s, sometime in the early to mid-90s. I don't recall what year, maybe like 92, 93, potentially 95, I don't know. But it's a really fun game, great story. And the graphics are fun, the audio is really fun. This only came out for the PC back when they did not port it to home consoles or anything like that. It had like voice acting and things like that as well.
I'm thirsty.
So classic. Okay, we're going to exit this. The 2X. MSU1 for the Super Nintendo, which is updated sound and audio, which is great. Also the Wii here. Show you some games I have for it. Check out Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's a great follow-up to Donkey Kong Country, of course. A couple seconds to load. Here you go. It's real-time loading. You can see how long it takes. Let's jump right into the action. If you haven't played this one, definitely recommend it. Tropical Freeze is the follow-up to as well, and that's a really lot of fun, especially playing multiplayer. These games are challenging platformers, just like the original Countries are challenging. This one is definitely challenging. Gotta figure out how to do the paddle. Okay, there you go. I gotta figure it out. Control button. There's different folders and stuff as well they have. What I'm going to show you is, let's check out Xbox. Let's do Simpsons Hit and Run. If you haven't played Simpsons Hit and Run, it's the best way to explain it is like, imagine Grand Theft Auto, but with the Simpsons theme behind it. So it's open world, there's different missions and stuff like that, and drive throughout Springfield. So much fun. I've been watching quite a bit of The Simpsons lately on Disney Plus with my kids, and it's crazy the show's been around for 33 plus years and still kind of relevant and things like today. So, what next out of that? I want to show you the various folders as well within CoinOps. You got Batman games, filters to all the Batman games. There's another folder here as well. Some fighter games I've never played these, to be honest with you. Looney Tunes, all the Looney Tunes, like 45 different Looney Tune games, different consoles. Dead Space 1 through 3. They just redid the Dead Space. They just reskinned that, right? Just remastered one. I'm excited to check that out. Turtles. Oh, hit the wrong button again. You gotta watch out for that. Fortunately, towards the end here. Okay. Include Battletoads, which is interesting. But yeah, it's got the Turtles in Time, Manhattan Project, Kirby. Some interesting games here, some fighters and stuff like that. That's cool. I like the art style. The anime art style is really cool. King of Fighter games. Lego games. There's 31. It's all the Ghost and Goblin kind of style games. Different ports. Gargoyle's Quest. Pokemon games. 30. This CoinOps has 115 different emulators, for example, here alone. Resident Evil. It's cool. The artwork's really cool in this. Street Fighter and Tekken games. Smash Brothers. Or Smash. There's 6 of them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys subscribing. Let me know where's some consoles and games you guys recommend. I'll start playing some more games and do some more videos and stuff as well. So if you have a recommendation for a game to try out or a system to check out, please let me know. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. And of course, game on.